Hi everybody, so in this video I want to show you how you can spawn in a backpack full of loot at a custom location of your choice on your DayZ server. So you can see we've got a nice yellow dry bag, and then in that bag there's some food, some drink, that kind of thing. Very useful for spawning in, to give yourself whatever you like actually. On the map. Could be weapons, could be anything, but first, credit where credit's due. All of these extra kind of custom spawn point videos I've been doing recently are down to this fella Balshad. You may well know him from Don Sibley's Discord, and what he's done, he's brought together all his XML modding experience from PlayStation, Xbox, PC, and put them in one place in a nice Discord where you can go through, and there are many channels covering the common tasks that you want to do as a server owner, and also plenty of the more difficult ones, and he explains them in a nice, clear, concise manner with examples, code snippets, so it's easy to follow. So you want to go to the description below this video, click on the Discord link, join his Discord, and then you want to go over to his PayPal as well, drop him a couple of bucks, you know, for all the effort he's put in putting this information together, because trust me, his Discord will become your reference when you're coding on your DayZ, PlayStation or Xbox or even PC server. Now what I've done as well is I have created a little GitHub repository with some code snippets, as I like to call them, that you can download as examples of how to do this. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through the process and kind of how the stuff works. So what you want to do first is, if you go over to Balshad's Discord and then scroll down to the one that talks about where is it? Starting gear console. This kind of talks about it in the second section about how to spawn in a backpack. This is basically what we're doing. Now, what we're not doing in this video is we're not changing the starting gear for players on console, because obviously you can't muck around with the init.c, but one of the ways that you could do it is that you would spawn some sort of container at every single potential spawn point on the map, and that had stuff in it, so that when you would spawn in as a fresh character, there would be a bag there, or a sea chest there, or a car there, that would have stuff in it. However, in my experience, it doesn't always work when you try and do it, so I've kind of left that to one side. I may well do another video about doing that in due course, but instead in this video we're just concentrating on spawning in one backpack at a location of your choice, and this definitely works, and works pretty well. So what you want to do is you want to go to my GitHub repository or depository and click on the little green code button and download the zip, and then you want to unpack it and you want to open up the files in your favorite text editor. In this case I'm using Notepad++, and what you'll find is an event snippet, a types snippet, a CFG spawnable type snippet, and a CFG event spawns snippet. So let's have a look at these. So let's start off with the event snippet. So this is the new event we're going to copy into our events.xml that spawns in the dry bag, and we're going to call this event name item goodie bag. Remember, it's very important what the event starts with. It must start with, if we're spawning in something like this, item, or I guess loot probably would work as well, but don't call it goodie bag 1 or something, because it won't work. Item goodie bag. And as you can see, nominal 1, min max 1, because there's only one of them, position fixed, limit child, active 1. There's no loot that spawns with the goodie bags, it spawns in the goodie bag, max 1, min 1, and the type, the thing that it's spawning in, is the dry bag yellow. Now, the next thing we want to look at really is the CFG spawnable type snippet. And so what you want to do with this is, what we're doing basically is we're changing the spawnable types for the dry bag yellow. And I've just copied this straight from Balshad's Discord. And as you can see, dry bag yellow, cargo chance 1, and the hunting knife, bandage, dressing, canteen, rice, tetracycline. You could, whatever you want to put in there, up to obviously the limit of what the bag can carry, you can put in there. And that means that when a dry bag yellow spawns in, it'll spawn in with this stuff. However, what that also means is we don't want yellow dry bags spawning in other parts of the map with this stuff in. Well, maybe you do, but let's say you wanted to spawn in a dry bag at your base or at somebody's base, to give them something. Say they said to you, I could really do with, I wouldn't mind having a go with, actually I don't know if you're allowed to do this or not, I wouldn't mind having a go with an FAL. And you could go, okay, where's your base? Give me the coordinates. And you could spawn in a dry bag with an FAL and attachments in it and go, there you go, have a go. You can do fun stuff like that, and they could have a go with it. Or food or something like that. So what we need to do is we want to stop the dry bag yellow spawning in general across the map. So that's why we have the type snippet. So what we're going to do with the type snippet is we're going to copy this and paste this over the top of our existing types file. So you see we've changed the nominal to 0, the restock to 0, the minimum to 0 as well. So we're saying, look, this dry bag now, yellow, it's ours, it's our custom spawn item, so don't spawn it anywhere else. So it's almost like a sacrificial item that we're taking out of the general loot table so we can use it for what we want to. And this would go with anything. Say you were doing this with a sea chest or even a car. Say there was a car or a truck, because they've got loads of storage in them, haven't they? And you might, well, actually, I want to create a PvP event at the airfield, and I want to get loads of guns onto the map very, very quickly. You could take one of the colours of the M3S trucks out of general spawning, stop it spawning in, take it out of the event, and then use it for a custom event, and then go into the CFG spawnable types and fill it full of stuff you needed, and then spawn it in at a custom location. So that's the type snippet. So let's look next at the event spawn snippet as well. So this is the one that actually tells the game where to spawn the goodie bag in. So you'll notice item goodie bag, that matches the event snippet name, item goodie bag. And where do we get these coordinates? Well, if you go to the I Survive map and then just scroll into wherever you want to spawn the item in, and you'll notice at the bottom of the screen there's some coordinates that are changing as I move my hand around, my little cursor around. So if you just, wherever you want to zoom in as far as you can, and sometimes you've got to flick between the satellite view and the map view just to figure out, you don't want to spawn the thing on top of a building or something. Then you type Control-C, that will then copy that to your clipboard, and you can paste it in, and that gives you the X and the Z coordinates, which you would then copy and paste over the top of the existing ones. Now we don't get a Y coordinate because that is the vertical, the altitude of the item, but the game engine figures that out for us and puts the item on the floor, so we don't have to worry about that. And A is the rotation of the item. Now -1 means don't worry about the rotation of the item. I think that's what it means, is just spawn it in. It could, I think, if you put an angle actually on some things like bags, I don't think they spawn in. I'm not quite sure, but I do know that this works if you do A-1. And if in general you're trying to use custom spawns to spawn stuff in, and you're having a bit of trouble with it happening, maybe try changing the angle to -1. So we go event name, and you see there's only one position. Now I'll cover it again. Now I have tried adding all of the player spawn points to this bit here, and then changing the events nominal to like the same as the number of spawn points, which I think is 99 on Chernarus, and changing the min and the max, but I couldn't get it to work. Maybe you can have a go. So this is just for one bag. Now once you've changed these snippets to what you want, you then need to copy them over the top of your existing files. So what you want to do is you want to go to your server. This is Nitrado. Go to the web interface. Go to the file browser. Go to the DayZ missions folder. Now you're going to have to dig in quite far if you're doing this on PC. Chernarus is Chernarus. Enoch is Livonia. In the main directory, this is where you'll find the CFG event spawns, and you'll find the CFG spawnable type. So you want to download both of those files. Then if you go into the DB folder or the DB directory, download the events file and download the types file. Open them up in your text editor, again Notepad++, and with the event snippet, item goodie bag, we just want to copy that and paste it at the top of our events file, just below where it says events, just there, like that. And then with our type snippet, we actually want to copy and paste that over the top of the existing dry bag yellow types bit. So you might have to do a Control F to find dry bag yellow, find where it is, and copy and paste it over the top so it ends up like that with nominal 0, min 0, that sort of stuff. Same with the CFG spawnable types snippet. So you want to copy that, and then go over the find the CFG spawnable types entry for the dry bag yellow, and copy our new version over the top of it. Now be very careful you get everything from the type, the opening type argument to the closing type argument. And then with the CFG event spawn snippet, we just copy item goodie bag, and we just put it at the top underneath event posdef, just there, and we save that. Save all the files. Go back to here, upload the new versions of types and the new version of events. Go back to the main missions folder and upload the new version of CFG spawnable types and CFG event spawns, and then restart your server. And then with a bit of luck, you will find on your coordinates a dry bag. Now, I do know that these events can interfere with each other. So sometimes, say you've got a number of events happening close to each other. So let's say at your base you decide to spawn in a water pump, and you decide to spawn in a pet animal and an NPC and a custom car, something like that. Often, if you try and spawn in too many of these events too close to each other, because of the radiuses, they'll interfere with each other and they won't allow them to spawn. So if you do find that, just spread them out a little bit more. Have them a little bit more further apart, and you should find it starts to work, and you'll be able to do this amazing cool thing. So anyway, there we go. Many thanks again to Balshad for putting together the Discord. Again, go and check him out. And if you've enjoyed this video, hit like. If you want to see more, then subscribe. And I will, of course, see you again soon.